Good evening, guys. When you think of the Israeli military, chances are you picture a country constantly at war with their Arab neighbors. But what you may not know is that inside the military, young cadets are given a lot of responsibility and are encouraged to question their superiors. I was granted exclusive access from the IDF to spend a day in the life of local American soldiers who are fighting side by side with their Israeli counterparts. It's sunrise on a foggy morning in the middle of the Negev desert. And with a landscape that looks more like the surface of the moon, the only sign of life appears to be this small Bedouin village.
This country is so fascinating. It has thousands upon thousands of years of history.
But as we drive a few more miles, we come upon 18-year-old Israeli soldiers struggling through their first weeks of boot camp. I was granted permission to see firsthand how soldiers from all over the world get through a tough day of training that starts at 6 a.m. Marlboro, New Jersey native Aaron Blashkovsky and his fellow cadets woke up after only 2 hours of sleeping in tents pitched on rocks.
And when the sun's up, the flies are there.
Exactly. That's like the killer.
It's the week of the Jewish holiday Sukkot. Instead of having breakfast, they read the Torah. Then, after tidying up, shaving, and shining their shoes, they're off to work.
Already, I've learned so much more than I think I have in my entire life just in basic training in these past 4 months.
I did 5 years in high school, and for one of the years I had a baby, and he's 2 and 3 months now.
Fellow American, Huntington, Long Island native Jake Schriebman wants to get his life on track so he could be a good father to his son.
I want to prove to my family mostly and to myself I've sort of been an extremist on slacking and starting things and half-assing them. I earned a great responsibility with this. So I want them to see that I'm able to handle it.
So far, Aaron and Jake's dedication and hard work have paid off. They were a select few soldiers chosen to use the MAG machine gun, giving them the title of Magists.
This will all be off at the end of the day. The skin won't be here.
And today is their first day learning to fire the gun, which they have to carry with them at all times.
It's an automatic machine gun. There's only 2 guns you can shoot on automatic in Israel. It's a Negev and the MAG, so we have 5 people out of 150 got to earn the right to shoot the automatic. You have to have a lot of heart to have this gun. I think that's why they chose us. I didn't want it at first, but now I want it because it's a challenge.
It's a really tough gun to hold. It's the heaviest gun that is held in any army. It weighs, I think, 13 kilos, which is about 26 pounds.
This feels like there's an elephant sitting on my shoulders.
You see how you use that step?
Okay. Easy, no problem. I'm athletic by nature, but I wanted to get an idea of how physically challenging the Army is. And I was humbled.
Oh my God! And I'm in shape. Why is that so hard?
Even though this is serious business, there are incentives for a job well done.
We're taking only the red.
It's the tracers.
Tracers?
Yeah, it's a prize for the
Best shooter.
The best shooter.
The Israeli military works more like a startup business. Instead of unwavering obedience to superiors, the IDF deliberately understaffs senior levels and works to teach responsibility to lower ranks. And that includes sharing a small amount of food and water at lunchtime.
This is the classic shetach pigment we got going on. The grape leaves, the tuna, the corn, and the ketchup, all combining for a sweet, savory taste in your mouth.
But Aaron and Jake can't help but get nostalgic about American food, music, and sports.
2 weeks ago, we stayed up till 4 in the morning to watch the game, and then went to our base at 7 to start the week. You know what I mean? We didn't sleep at all, but that's what you got to do. You miss the culture. You know what I mean? It's important.
After lunch, the hardest part of their day begins. Aaron and the rest of the Magists literally hit the dirt to learn how to deal with a real-life gun battle. Problem is, Aaron and Jake are struggling to understand what their commander is saying.
It's an incredibly frustrating thing, and there's nothing more embarrassing in my mind than when, my officer's trying to tell me something and I literally just can't understand.
But with the universal language of brotherhood, honor, and Zionism, these Americans know they're part of something bigger than them.
Sometimes when it's the rough day, the roughest day, I think, oh, I just want to go home, But then I think of what I signed up for and that it's not supposed to be easy.
As you can see, this is no walk in the park. Aaron and Jake have since finished their training and are full-fledged Magists. Aaron's job is to guard the border of the West Bank. Jake has since taken a leave and hopes to get back on track soon. In the meantime, Aaron is getting a month of vacation and he is coming home for the first time to New Jersey next week for his 21st